Hey guys, Jeffrey's here, and welcome to the brand new Jeffrey's network on OpenTTD. Now off camera, I did this. So we have GSG in all its brand new well-built glory, using the central routes from Amsterdam. And then we've got these island platforms here. More on that in a second. Because first, I want to talk to you about, and I've just realised. There we go. Should just have the audio recording on one source now. Apologies for that. I'll put a little note in the description if I remember that there's an echo. I want to talk to you about Lieutenant Joker. Now, if you don't know who he is, what the hell are you doing with your lives? Because he is the creator of the patch that I am using in this series. And he's got in touch with me. For those eagle-eyed viewers, you'll notice in the comments he's got in touch with me, and he's given me some really useful tips about how to use programmable signals to allow certain trains through. So we're going to be utilising that in this series. Now, I'm going to try and use programmable signals, and it's brand new for me, so I do emphasise the word is try and use them. I can't guarantee they'll work first time. There might need to be some sort of phase 1, phase 2 kind of things whilst I get used to it, but the goal is to build fully working programmable signals, which I think is a really cool project to be working on. And what that does mean is these station tiles can actually be reduced slightly. So over here it's not as important because all trains will be coming through here, and in fact just need to lower the land back to where it should be. There we go. And a bit on this side as well. There we go. Right. So Guard Lake has got a station now. There will be no Gardcity exchange on this line anymore. Guard Lake is going to be the middle station. There could, however, be a station built within the lake that will then come out this way, because there's St. Michael and here's St. Peter. So it's possible. I'm not ruling it out. It's possible. But for now, I'm going to focus on building the other terminals in and around the city. So there's actually going to be a new terminal station over here in Bartholomew, which I've never done before. But I wanted to give it a try and see how it works. It's going to be a very simple terminal. It's only going to be 3 platforms. And this is going to be Moorgate, basically. It's going to be like Moorgate. And then somewhere up on this main line over here, there'll be a crossover point. In fact, I should really do that here. So let's see, that'll go there, that'll go there. I'll cut this back a little bit, like so. And that goes there, that goes there, and then this line here hops over the top, like that, and connects up like this. And that's that bit done. You might also notice that I've built the sidings as well, the depot sidings, and I've gone with a little bit of a difference to usual in that I've only got 1 local and 1 express. And in fact, I think I mentioned this in the last episode. Anyway, if I did not, I might have built it in the last episode actually. My memory lets me down sometimes. But got all different depot sizes. They'll be useful in the future for all the different train lengths that are going to be using these facilities. There will of course also be pass-throughs. In fact, I don't think I built this on camera at all, so it's worth talking about it now. There's also a section here. There's 2 local lines that come down here, and then there's 2 express lines, which again I should probably build the crossover for here nice and early. So let's see, that will go there like that, and then this will come down and connect up like so. Bingo. That's that connected. And this here will carry on running alongside. Now this one is actually going to be 3rd rail. And it's going to kind of replicate the Watford DC lines that come out of Euston, in that they'll run alongside what is essentially the West Coast main line, but in this case, I mean, it kind of is the West Coast main line because it's going to be running to the northwest of the country, but it's going to be mostly central. But yeah, that's the idea behind that one. This is going to be a little suburban line. that's just going to go around. And as I say, over here there's going to be a replica of like a Finsbury Park type station, maybe over here somewhere, with this line here connecting to it via, it's going to go this way around the lake, and it's going to connect up over here. So Bartholomew Station, that's what we're going to be focusing on right now. So let's build, see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we'll get some single-sided on this bit, like so, and then we'll build in our buffer stops. One there, one there, and that one there. Obviously we're going to put in our signals, and then we can put in our crossovers, a bit like so, like that. And then over here, I'm actually going to keep, it's probably not the best place for it, there. I'm going to build an entrance way to a little depot area. So this is going to be the main line. It's going to run along like this, and then this bit here is going to be for depots. So let's do that as well, I suppose. Not going to be very big. Let's see, 7. It's going to be a good length. And then that's going to come back down like that. It's going to go across like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then of course signal there, signal there, signal there. And then pop in the, what's it, fixtures up to the top, drag and drop, and that goes there. So that's that little bit set up. And as I say, that's going to go around the edge of the lake via a couple of stations and then join up at a junction station over here. Right, next one. St Mark we should probably start working on. It's going to be in a very similar shape to GSG, but on a slightly smaller scale. So St Mark's going to be built on a hill like this, and we're going to have a series of lines. Let's not do that there actually, and also let's raise it up a little bit on this side as well. So let's see if I did that, and then that. That's going to annoy me. Alright, that connects there, that one connects there, that one connects there, and then this will come across like that, I guess. That kind of works. And we'll do one there like that, and we'll do one there like that. And like so. And then over here, let's see, 7, yeah, St Mark's going to be a lot smaller than the other stations, as you can already tell by the way this is looking. I kind of lost some of the magic in the different length platforms though, so that's what I'm going to have to try and reclaim. Also, we have this extraordinarily long platform in the centre here, this 8-tile platform. One thing I do like about this new area that we didn't have, or that we had in the old, that we don't have in this one, is the huge hill that St Mark was built at the top of. I don't mind building stations on hilltops. I think in some respects that is quite cool, but it was a bit of a pain trying to feed all the lines up, especially when it came to metro as well. You kind of want things more flat, so I'm glad that we don't have to contest with that. I'm thinking for St Mark, I almost want to build the Den Haag style, because St Mark wasn't really that loved in the last map, let's be honest. It wasn't that loved. So I think this time round we should put some real effort into it and actually make it look like a station that's being built to look nice. I think this is probably a good way of doing that. I do need the, what's this, bus platform roof extension. Do I need that? I don't think I need that there. Where's the one that has the... roof closing on the other side? Don't think it comes under there. Let's open this up a bit more so I can see it all in one go. I mean, that's quite cool as well. Something to consider. Not for this bit, but somewhere else maybe. I can't find the one I'm looking for. I mean, yeah, that's going to go down this end of things. Like that. But, the window's on the far side one, which is always useful. I do need, is it that one? Yeah. And then this one. Like so. What else do we have? Can you see it through there? You can. That's not ideal. Guess just this one. But we do want to keep that one. Yeah, that one like that. That's the one without windows. So the one without windows would be quite useful to have for this section here. It's going to be quite messy, I feel, trying to get all this in. Oh well. So there we go. That's a version. Buffer stops. Yeah, they do have the Den Haag buffers. There. There. And there. Wrong corner. So that needs to be... see, that one. Yup. And then, that one. To go there. And then that one. To go there. Okay, that looks alright. And then island stations again. Something like that, perhaps. Over here, we'll just go with the island platforms. Actually, I tell you what. How long is this? 7. Yeah, that's about right. Then all of this will be one long row of signals. Like so. And then if we go to island platforms, let's see what we got. We'll pop that there. And a plant barge maybe. And then the single-sided, we'll pop some CTAs down. One there, one there, and then maybe just some benches. One there and one there. Right, this is not St. Mark Heights, this is Gardcity St. Mark. I'm not happy using the bus ramps though, because that implies that there'll be buses on there, and obviously we can't do that. So might see if I can change that slightly. What other options have we got? We got the tower. How does that look? Incomplete, I would say. Maybe move the tower to there. Let's take all this back, and let's take all this back. Let's see, Hilversum. Nope. Nope, 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 nope. Nope. What else have we got? We got the short roofs. Like that. I could pop the tower in the set. Oh, actually, no. Let's pop the tower there. Thinking about it. Oh, actually we've got the long roofs. That actually looks okay. Maybe save this for another station. Yeah, that looks almost manageable. Okay. Let's see, we're going to do that. Now obviously some of these platforms over here are also going to come over and form the main line here. So that's been accounted for. And I'm going to do this in advance. I'm going to plan this with the two lots of 4-track main lines now. So that'll be 1, 2, 3 and 4. That one sticks out by 1, this one sticks out by 3. So actually what we should do is move this one further over, and then that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. You'll come across like this, you'll connect up to this one just for now, you'll come across like that, connect up, that will also connect up there, and we'll do a crossover like that. This one's going to connect across like this, and we're going to come down here, that's going to connect to there, this one's going to come across like this and do that, and this one's going to come down here, that one's going to come down there, that one's going to come down, whoops, there. This one's going to shift across like so, this one's then going to do a big shift like that, which then allows this one to come over a little bit further. This one, we're going to have a crossover like that and a crossover like that. This one will also pop one there like so. God, I hope this works now. With the grouping, otherwise, or the programming I should say, otherwise this is going to be really disastrous. I also feel like there should be something else here, like another terminus platform maybe. But we'll see about that. Right, now not every track needs to reach every other track. That's one thing I have learnt from this experience. So I think that is probably going to be our limit there. Like so. As long as this one can reach this one, that's fine. Because this one's going to be express, this one here is going to be express, and then these two are going to be locals on the outside. And I think we could cram in a hell of a lot more of crossovers in the centre here like this. Although we don't want too many. We don't want it to look too cluttered. That's one thing to bear in mind. But then you also want it to work as a practical station throat. So yeah, something like that. Maybe one here as well, just like that and like that. That should be cool. That should be cool. Okay. So Gardcity St Mark is borderline complete. Let's just remind ourselves of where these signals go, like that. There'll be some kind of waypoint here as well for speed adjustments, I'm sure. Same over here, there'll be waypoints probably just after the exits there. Bartholomew is now done. St John. Now, which way am I going to make St John face? Because in the past we've had it face this way, and then it curves round. And I do like that idea. I like it being right on the edge of the lake as well. So you know what? I think we might continue with that theme. So there's going to be a little bit of destruction involved with this. Something like that, and maybe a little bit more here. Now I think St John can get the tower. Like so. We can actually put the short roofs. Like that. Perhaps. And then another platform on the edge here. Let's just lift this up a little bit more. There we go. That should be enough. That needs to be the other side. That way. And then a schedule, bench, some shelters of some kind. Like that maybe. And what else have we got in our box of tricks? A little thing like this. and then some buffers. Actually, before I get too excited with the buffers, I just want to make sure these are all Den Haag, aren't they? Yeah. So let's see, that type is the one I want. One like that, like that, like that, and that'll do for that type. And this type, one there, and one there, and then we also want that one there. Seven platforms, that should be enough, really, shouldn't it? Again, I haven't fully decided what type of station St. John is going to be. Apart from being built on a diagonal like this, which is not necessarily a good thing, thinking about it. We'll explore this a little bit more in the future, I'm sure. But right now, let's see, that's 1. We'll call that 2, 3, and of course 4. I might extend. Well, I'll have to go this way, really, thinking about it. But you put some crosses in like that, and all tracks are linked to all other tracks now. So yeah, I mean it's not terrible. It's not great, but it's not terrible. So that's St. John ticked off the list, sort of. Next, see, I do want to introduce some new terminus stations as well, but I think for now let's focus on the huge complex that's going to be St. Peter, St. Michael. Because again, this is going to be, it's not going to be as big as St. George, I don't think. And I think St. George will have some more terminus platforms on this side as well, for some more suburban lines maybe. Or maybe over this side, actually. I haven't decided yet. But I think they're going to actually be 2 separate stations this time, rather than joined together. I think that will work better. Because you can imagine a metro sort of running along this side. Or maybe this side actually, because of where the stations are going to be. I don't know. To be perfectly honest, I do not know. What I do know though is I want St. Michael to be in this sort of section here. I think that looks quite cool. And we'll just keep extending it back each time there's a space for it. So see, how long would that one be? That would be 10. Which would make this one 7. Yeah, that works. Something like that. Looks quite cool. And St. Peter will be built in this little alcove here. And again, we'll try and build all the platforms at different lengths. That's going to be way too short. Something I have to remember when I'm doing this is every platform must have a purpose. You can't just build one short just so it's short. It has to have a reason as to why it's shorter. So is it a space constraint? Is it because shorter trains will serve it? What is the reason behind the shorter platform? And to be perfectly frank, I haven't a clue most of the time why. But I'm going to have to come up with some reasons. So for example here, we're going to be building some buffer stops. And I want to make sure that each buffer stop is, that's one, has a reason for it being this particular shape. So in this case, let's make sure these are all the same station. That's a good idea, isn't it? St. Peter, St. Peter. This one's going to be a full wraparound. And then this one here is going to be like that, and that one's going to be like that. I think that does it completely. And then on this side, one there like that, one there like that. This one's going to go there like that. This one there like that, and then this one there like that. and then fill in the gaps like so, and then the straight line one at the end there. This one, some of this can be quite easy, like that one's quite simple. And the rest of these are pretty much done anyway, so that's fine. Yeah. Might as well have that as a wraparound one as well. In fact, we should probably have that as a wraparound one too. Okay. So then, Dutch platforms. Do the wraparound ones first. So that one, this one, and this one are all going to be wraparound. Over here, I don't think we have any that do that, do we? No. Good. And then the single-sided platforms. Just do it to the... there. These are all going to be the signals at the end. Okay. You are going to come down like that. You are going to come down like that. And then this one's going to come down like that, and this one's going to come down like that. So it's quite a strange shaped station when you look at it like that. It's quite a strange shape. I'm not sure if I like it. Because what I would quite like is to use this type here for this bit. Like that. And actually to spread it further over to this one as well. And have it go back. Yeah, see, it doesn't work. Hang on. Try that one again. So we want St. Peter. Right. Right, yeah. We don't want that one. And we don't want... Sorry, I'm getting way ahead of myself here. So there is where we want it. St. Peter. Cool. And then there. And there. Like that. Good. And then single-sided. We use the drag and drop tool for this. So that, like so. These ones are both going to be island ones. So let's use island for that. Like so. Same here. And same here. But then single-sided, that's going to go up one further. In fact, it's just that one that goes up one further, isn't it? So then when it comes to building the buffer stops, that one goes like that. This one and this one are shared really, so they can both go like that. That one goes up one further. Same here and here. Where is it? There it is. And that one also has that type. And then over here, it's just that one. Okay. So if I go to non-track tiles, like that. Whoops, no. So let's see, we want something like that there. Actually, no we don't. No, we do not. We want something like this here. Fill all these gaps up. Not sure what I can put there actually. Also not sure. Is there any that actually have eye candy on? Oh, that's going to really annoy me. The fact that there's none with eye candy on, so we're going to have to sort of improvise slightly. Let's see. Can I put that there? I can. But that doesn't really fit, does it? No, it does not. Also, I think that's the slightly wrong... Yeah. Slightly wrong shade, which didn't help. That's a big deal, by the way. Slightly wrong shade. Massive deal. Right. Let's pop that one there. No, I can't pop that one there either. I can pop that one there, though. Yeah. And then I can pop one directly opposite it. Is it that one? Yeah. That one like that. And then here, it's that one, isn't it? Like that. Yeah, it kind of it impedes on itself though, doesn't it? I think what I'm going to have to do is shorten that one. So let's see, buffer stop. Don't know why I'm putting so much attention into detailing this particular station. I've no idea why. I guess I'm sort of being procrastination. Oh, I can't even say the word. I'm basically being lazy now instead of in the future. If that makes sense. Sort of doing it now so I don't have to do it later, because I know I'll be lazier later. So I'm preventing the laziness, shall we say. So see, all of them like that, except we'll put normal bike racks there and there. We'll pop these down as like that. And I'm going to leave that for now, because I still have to do St. Michael. That's the thing I can't have to tell myself. You still got to do another station. So here, let's see, something like that, perhaps. Something like that there. Something like that there. In terms of single-sided, do the old drag and drop again. So that one will go there, that one will go there, that one will go there, and then that one will carry on going down like that. If I grab, I guess it'll have to be that type. I can fill that one up, and I can fill that one like that. It would actually make more sense if I used the more modern one. Like this. Reason being is I can then actually use the same type. Like so. And extend that one out like that. Go back to the island platform. 2. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Like so. And then go back to single-sided and use the same type here. Okay, while we're on single-sided, we're going to want benches there and there, shall we say. The rest of these are all islands, so I don't need to worry about that too much. Again, I think over here, this might be a metro platform actually, looking at it, and then we'll have this will be more suburban, and then we'll have express. They probably will end up impeding on each other, but they will still be counted as two separate stations. I think that's probably going to be the smart way of doing it. So I think actually the signal line on this station can be there. I think that works quite nicely. Let's see if I put some platform signs there, there and there. We'll put a plant barge there, let's say. Put some CTAs here, and we'll put some more plant barges in, like that. That's St. Michael. Yeah, I mean, I'm quite happy with that. I don't see anything particularly wrong with that. I think that works. Let's give them the proper names. So you're Gardcity St. Peter, you here are Gardcity St. Michael. Okay. Finally, Now I'm sure you were expecting me to say we were finished, but finally there's going to be another one. So let's see, we've got St George, we've got Bartholomew, we've got St John, St Mark, St Peter, St Michael and Guard Lake, which for now is going to stay that. It'll probably get renamed in the future. You can also see a bit of bus terminal here. I think the main city bus terminal will probably be on this island. So you can see I've got some lorry stops in there too, but truck stops, not lorry. Let's use the proper word. I think I could afford to do something a bit more like that. And like that. And then have these as exit roads. So you'll come down here, in, round, and out. Or maybe actually have this one go this way. No. That way. So then you'll go in, round, and out, and then here you go in, round, and out. I think that'll probably work better. Also, I might as well move these something like over here, like that. And then we'll have bridges that go across to the various different locations. But yeah, I want one more, and I want one. Let's see, we've got two facing west, we've got one big one and a little one facing north. South we've only got one, and east we've only got one. But then I could build another set of platforms at St George facing this way. St John can obviously get bigger. I'm not quite happy with the way this track layout goes, so I'm going to fix that off camera. So let's see if I get rid of all of that. I like the location of the station, I'm just not big on the platforms. So, not platforms, approach tracks. So, as I say, I'll redo that off camera. But I kind of think we need one over here. Menbourne Cross. I'm going to rename you. I'm going to name you after my brother. Not because I have a soft spot for my brother, but because it's probably the next logical one. Use one of the 12 disciples. The next one on the list is probably going to be St Thomas. Since we've got St Peter, St John, St Mark. The other one we haven't got is St Matthew. But we've already got an MA. A GSMA. So a GSMA again. Then you'll have to go like MAR and MAT, and that'll get a bit confusing. Although my brother's middle name is Matthew, and I do have a cousin called Matthew as well. So it's going to be referenced somewhere, I'm sure. Maybe in a different city. But we'll have a nice little terminal here as well. So I'm thinking of London. So London, you've got the northern stations. You've got King's Cross, St Pancras, Liverpool Street. Although Liverpool Street kind of goes east, but it goes north-east. So we'll count that. King's Cross, St Pancras, Liverpool Street, Euston. And there used to be Broad Street as well, but Broad Street's now closed. So I think it's just those four. Westwards, you've got... Well, you kind of got northwest, you've got Marylebone, and then west and northwest, you've got Paddington. And then southwise, this is where it gets a bit complicated. Southwise, east, you've got Fenchurch Street as well, by the way. Southwise, you've got Waterloo, Victoria, London Bridge, Charing Cross, Fenchurch Street again. There must be more than that. I think there's another one, I can't remember the name. But I kind of want Gardcity to have the same sort of thing. So imagine all of this area here is Greater Gardcity. So, St Thomas is going to be one of the south-facing platforms, is the point I was trying to make in all of that. How long is this? 7. And that makes this 5. That actually works out quite nicely. And then the buffer stops will be right on the edge of the lake, which is perfect. That one. Well, that one goes for there at least. Oh, flatland required. That's fine. You just have to lift that bit up. So that goes there. That one goes there. Same over here. I'm going to put that one there. Actually, that one goes there. So that one goes there. and then you've got like these two extra ones. Just going to shorten that. Do it like this. So it's almost like a step-sized or step-shaped station. Interesting. Don't think I've done that before. And I think we'll just use island stations again, just to be a bit lazy. So let's see what we've got. Something a bit like that, maybe. And then plug the gaps. Although we do still have some stuff left over from here. Including that. Now, what does that come from? Does that come from that? No, it doesn't. So why is that randomly there? Ah, does it? No, it can't come from them either. That's pretty weird. I don't like that. What one was it? That one. Yeah. Okay. That works for me. And then island platforms, we will have some stairs there and there. Side platforms, we will have some stairs. One facing that way like that, one facing that way like that. Back to island quickly. Not the place, obviously. Plant barges, one there, one there. Single-sided, we'll have that like that, and we'll just have a normal one like that. And then along here, we'll do the usual CTA, bench, schedule. This side we'll have something a bit more advanced, shall we say. Let's put some shelters in. And then we'll put a CTA and then some benches, like so. This side of things, we'll just have some benches. And I'll put some benches there as well. Island platforms here, we'll have a CTA opposite that one. And there we go, St. Thomas. Let's give it its proper name. Now, I want to replicate Clapham Junction as well, and that's where this comes in quite nicely, because actually some of these lines, or this whole line actually, can come down here this way and connect up with these four lines here at a Clapham Junction style station, probably somewhere over here actually. So I'm looking forward to doing that. Do you know what? How long have we got? Yeah, I've got time. St. John. This video is going to be going up late by the looks of it anyway, so I might as well just do it really late now and fit the theme. Blame Football Manager. That's what I say. I was trying to render the stream from Friday, and because of that, lost track of time. Right. Not that that's an excuse. Well, it is an excuse. What am I saying? Of course it's an excuse. So we want these 4 tracks to kind of go along the edge like this. It's a shame that I'm going to have to get rid of that, but there you go. 2, 3, and 4. I think actually I'm going to add some more platforms to this in the future over in that direction. Let's connect all these up. We'll connect that to there. The 2 express ones are going to be the platform, the tracks furthest away from the water's edge. So see, if we do all them like that, let's not connect that there actually. Let's connect that one there, and then this one will connect to there, which means I can get rid of that one. And then over here we'll do some clever stuff like that. There we'll do that. There we will do something like that, I suppose. And we'll do a crossover there like that. And up here, yeah, we'll do something like that. It's better. It's not perfect, but it's better. And then I'll add the extra ones probably off camera as well. Right, I think that does it. I could do with another terminal over here, I suppose, pointing either north or west or both. I'm just thinking, what other saints are there? I'm going to get up a list of saints. There are lots. I think there's 10,000. There's an episode of Death in Paradise I watched recently where he said there was 10,000 and something at the last count Catholic saints. Something... Is there an Alexander? There is an Alexander. Well, there's Alexander of something. There's Pope Alexander of Alexandria. And then there's Saint Alexandra of Hesse. That's also not Alexander. It's Alexandra. I find that hard to believe. There isn't a Saint Alexander. There is Saint Anne. It doesn't necessarily have to be a male name. They can be female. Saint Christopher. That's a nice one. GSC. So this is going to become Saint Christopher. And I'm going to build a terminus for that off camera as well. Right, we are finished for today. For the last time I'm going to say it, we are finished for today. So thank you very much everybody for watching. If you... No, that's not the one. Don't forget to leave a like. There we go. Don't forget to leave a like if you're enjoying the videos, and of course if you're enjoying the series. Drop some comments down below with ideas for future episodes. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, be sure to hit the subscribe button. If you have already subscribed to the channel, thank you very much for your continued support. And until next time, I will see you soon.